Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Murkakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. This is your brother Dawada from the Men of Valor campaign, Greenville, South Carolina, coming back with another video in sincerity and in truth, the Lord willing it can be edifying. All right, and got some major news, waking up, brother sharing different pieces of information through the Spirit. All right, standing upon our watch. And the Spirit is on me to, keep up with these events going on in the world. You have North Korea firing off ballistic, ballistic missile drills, hypersonic missile drills, testing their artillery, so to speak. All right, and they keep doing it. And there's a conflict, and some escalation going on between North Korea and South Korea. You actually have one of the most popular pop groups in South Korea. I think they're called like BTS. They're actually not going to be doing music for a while because they're enlisting in the South Korean military. So, hey, everybody's preparing war, but over here on this main front, the main conflict, the talk of the town right now is between Russia and Ukraine. And this is actually coming out today, of course, War News 24/7. And I actually heard this news yesterday. Somebody was speaking on it on one of these channels I watch concerning war news updates. But they didn't want to bring out that information because they couldn't confirm it. But War News 24/7 has confirmed it. And, this website is based out of Greece. That's why you'll see right here. And, it goes back to the original language, which is in Greek. And we translate it to English. Right? Hopefully it translates back. Come on. We translate it back to English, but it's a pretty reputable source. But nonetheless, we have from War News 24/7, it says preparations for the use of nuclear, yellow and red alert in Russia. Decree of Putin. He declared a state of siege and martial law. And then getting into it, it says Russia is on the brink of using tactical nuclear weapons as, by decision of Putin, martial law was declared in the region of Donetsk, Luhansk, Kherson, and Zaporizhia as a result of the state of siege of Russian territories. And, martial law is a term we've come to be quite familiar with. All right, it's dealing with warlike law. And those four regions are regions that were voted. They took votes to leave the rule of Ukraine and join under the rule of Russia. And I think those regions, they voted like 99% in favor of joining Russia, even though the United States and the Western media is trying to downplay it. But nonetheless, all right, Putin has declared, this, warlike law over in these regions. And what does this mean? It means this decision essentially means that Russia is in a state of war, which justifies the defense of Russian territories by any means. And that's why this whole talk of using tactical nukes has been so much in the news lately. You also have major things going on with Russia using these Iranian kamikaze drones to knock out the power grid. All right, a third of Ukraine is in the dark right now. All right, and they might continue to attack their grids and whatnot because it's beginning to get cold. Even over here, it's starting, man. I heard another brother make mention of it, but I stepped out this morning, man. It's fucking cold. It's getting chilly outside. So through the Spirit, hey, it's looking like it's going to be a very cold winter in the midst of a major energy crisis, in the midst of, all this going on. But Russia likes to attack in the cold, man. This isn't the first time they've done something like this. It says this is also confirmed by the fact that there is a yellow and red alert in various Russian regions. It says today, Putin and Russian leadership entered the stage of preparing the Russian people for the imminent use of nuclear weapons. And we've been saying through the spirit the last couple, weeks and months, definitely within the last couple weeks, every day they've been talking about nuclear weapons. This isn't something that's going to die down. So if they're talking about using nuclear weapons so fervently, we know, man, that CHIP has to be really close. The collapse of this economy has to be really close because, all right, the Lord isn't going to allow this conflict to die down, man. It's going to intensify and speed up. All right, this is all the doing of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. It says in the regions bordering Ukraine and the new territories, a medium response level is introduced. These regions include Crimea and Sevastopol, Krasnodar territory, Belgorod, Bryansk, Voriansk, Kursk, and Rostov, and the remaining regions of the Central Federal District and the Southern Federal District. In addition to 8 above, a high-level alert is introduced even in the capital of Moscow. So they're preparing war. It says in the remaining regions of Russia, a regime of basic readiness is introduced. At the same time, Putin announced the creation of territorial defense units from the local populations in Zaporizhia, Kherson, Lugansk, and Donetsk. Okay. It says, let's see. I guess this is the video right here.
Донецкой Народной Республики, Луганской Народной Республики, а также в Херсонской и Запорожской областях до их вступления в состав России действовал режим военного положения. И сейчас нам необходимо оформить этот режим уже в рамках российского.
It's all in Russian, but right here it says Putin, he declared martial law. Russian President Vladimir Putin has announced that he has signed a decree imposing martial law in the regions of Donetsk, Lugansk, Kherson, and Zaporizhia. It says with Ukrainian armed forces counterattacking in both the south and east of Ukraine and fearing strikes on critical infrastructure, Putin said all Russian regions should enforce measures to guard and protect critical and important infrastructure. I signed a decree to introduce martial law in these 4 entities of Russian Federation. It will be immediately sent for approval to the Federal Council and the State Duma, which will be informed of the decision, Putin said during the Security Council meeting held via video conference. According to the decree signed by Putin, it says the Russian president must immediately inform the Federal Council and the State Duma of the introduction of martial law. In addition, Putin ordered the creation of special counsel under Prime Minister Mikhail Mishustin to coordinate work to improve security. The decree also restricts movement in and out of Russian regions bordering Ukraine. These measures concern Krasnodar, Belgorod. I read this earlier. I'm not going to read that again. It says, in the current situation, I consider it necessary to give additional powers to the heads of all Russian regions, Putin said. In the televised remarks and the start of the Security Council meeting, Vladimir Putin stressed that those who are on the front lines or training in the firing ranges and training centers must feel our support and know that they have our great country united in their side. So, you can keep going down. It's a lot of information coming out concerning this, but Russia is war ready. As I continue to bring out Ezekiel 38, because this is the spirit that the Lord is putting these Russians in, putting the hooks into their jaws, turning their back with all their army, horsemen and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even with bucklers and shields. Okay, so we're bringing this out, and this is playing out right before our eyes. They're declaring martial law, warlike law, war readiness in these different regions. They're getting ready. They're preparing for war. They're ready for this. They're not going to, it ain't about peace talks no more, man. All right, that's out the fucking window. All right, this is what's happening. Not only here, but you also have in North Korea, You have in other areas. And what is the United States doing? Which we're gonna get into this in the next part of the lesson. All right, they're not ready for war. All right, they're not, their war readiness isn't up to par, and hey, it's going to be to their demise, man. That pride has deceived them. They have become weak among the nations. It says Joel chapter 3 and verse 9, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, yeah, these other nations. It says prepare war, and that's what you see Russia, North Korea, Iran, different nations like that. What you see them doing, and they're mainly getting ready to come up against America, even China and Taiwan, right? Because China's talking about potentially annexing Taiwan. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. So like it real quick. So like I'm going to read verse 9 again. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. And that's what you have right now. Okay? These nations are getting war ready. Verse 11, it says, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, or Yahweh-Shaphat, valley of the Lord's decision. It says, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. And eventually we know this war is going to move down into the Middle East. All right, we know the state of Israel, them rats are going to end up getting involved, and it's going to cause everything to move down that way. And the Lord's going to judge them there. This is what World War III is. This is what we're seeing being played out right before our very eyes. But, hey, what do you have the mass majority of people doing? Hey, they're occupied in bread and circus instead of occupied in prophecy. They're occupied in folly. And they're not seeing the downfall of this place right before their eyes. And how do we know there's a downfall happening? Check this out.
There's also this pretty alarming report that the Heritage Foundation released. They did an analysis of the U.S. military. They say that overall, our military is weak, and they go into greater detail on each of the specific branches. They say the Army is marginal. The Navy, they say, is weak. They say the Marine Corps is strong, Air Force very weak, Space Force weak. Our nuclear capacity is strong. All of this comes, though, Sean, as China has fully militarized 3 islands in the South China Sea. And a lot of people say it's not a matter of if, but when China invades Taiwan. So how seriously are you taking this report? How concerned should we be? And how do we reverse this?
Yeah, this is scary. So when you have a military and a group of leaders who care more about diversity, equality, and inclusion, talking about racism in the military, they want to spend money on social programs, massive $1 trillion giveaways to their friends and allies. This is what you get, Carly. And again, we need serious people back in the room to spend real money to rebuild the military, all our forces, to make sure we can address the rising threats of the day. And that's not happening. And when you don't make those investments in people and in military assets, listen, this is the kind of report that you'll get. And hopefully we'll have folks inside the military that'll go, hey, listen, hey, Congress, we need more money. We need to build more ships. We need more planes. We need more smart people who are willing to risk their lives for democracy and freedom. But if you don't get that, I think we're on a short course here to be in a second world global power.
Yeah, it's good news, bad news situation the way I look at it. Those stats were horrible, bad news, but, we're winning the woke pronoun war. So if that's important to you,
we are.
Congrats. China doesn't care. Sean Duffy, we care.
They're weak, man. They're weak, and people see it. All right? They see it. They're more worried about, inclusion. Including the alphabet people, pandering to these people instead of actually preparing for war. You think Russia and China are worried about that? All right, Russia just activated 1.2 million reserves. And they're saying the United States can't even, they're 15,000 short of their recruitment goal for 2022, man. Russia has a 1 million-man army. China has a 1 million-man army. India is going to be allies unto them. They have 1 billion people there, man, that they require to join the military, men. All right, but they ain't doing that over here. And hey, that's why that draft is gonna come over here. And you people, hey, and you ain't gonna be laughing then, man. All right, but I wanted to bring that out because hey, that's prophecy too. Hey, the Lord, hey, there's no coincidences with the Lord. The Lord had them bring out that article to say that the United States military is weak. On the same time that you have Russia getting straight up war ready, man. It says Isaiah chapter 14, and we're gonna start at let's see. I'm gonna start at verse 9. It says, hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee. Even all the chief ones of the earth, it have raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. It says, all they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Okay, has this nation that was supposed to be the glory of kingdoms, have they become weak? Meanwhile, in Joel the 9th chapter, Joel the 3rd chapter, and starting at the 9th verse, it says what? Let the weak say I'm strong. Why? Because now they have nuclear capabilities. They have the same nuclear capabilities that America has. And guess what? They're building up their actual foot soldiers and Navy and whatnot. Meanwhile, America's struggling to do that. You know, yeah, all these nations have nukes. All right, and those nukes, when they fly, America's going to be fully decimated by thermonuclear destruction, man. All right, this is the latter end of this proud ass society. It says, verse 11, thy pomp is brought down to the grave, the noise of thy vials, the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. Verse 12, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? This is speaking about the spiritual demon Satan. This is about O Lucifer, meaning light bearer. All right, the enlightened ones of this world. All right, the elites. You know, the secret council of the wicked. All right, how are thou fallen from their powerful and lofty estate? It says, how are thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation and the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. Yeah, you're going to fall, man. Yeah, which I said, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. And this is Esau falling rapidly, man. All right, this World War III, man, it's kicking off. And America just ain't ready. It's not ready, man. And it's beautiful to see. So, you know, Lord willing, I can come through with some more information as it's being reported. All right, but right now you have Russia declaring martial law for different regions in Russia, as well as the 4 regions that it annexed and, became made part of Russian territory. You also have reports of America's military being overall weak. Right? All biblical prophecy, all war readiness, and America's on his way out, man. It's CTD, circling the drain, man. So beautiful to see. All right, so Lord willing does the edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Makakodash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Till next time, Shalom.